All right, welcome to Cosmic Compass. Thank you for joining me this morning, June 17th, I think today is. And we are going to start as usual with some breathing just to connect, deepen, and then we're going to veer off a little bit, and I'll do some announcements, and then I will bring on Jenna. We'll talk about some astrology, and then we'll pull cards together. So we'll get to the cards, but we're getting to them a little bit later in the process. So, all right, first things first, breathing, bringing ourselves here fully and completely as much as possible. Just take a normal breath. If you wish to close your eyes, you can. You don't have to. Bringing that awareness inward. Just take a moment, adjust your body. Relax your jaw, relax your shoulders and your hips. Just bring awareness to your knees and your feet. Feel the earth. And now let's just take a deep breath, expanding the belly. And exhaling through your mouth. Taking another breath, expanding the belly. Expanding it a little bit more. And exhaling. And just feel your listening beginning to open up a little bit more with each breath. Taking another breath in, expanding the belly. And exhaling when you're ready through your mouth. Feeling your awareness deepening with each breath. Feeling your feet on the earth. Feeling the energy of the earth, breathing that in up through the soles of your feet, expanding your belly. Exhaling. And just feeling the levels of awareness. You're listening, you're seeing, you're knowing, you're feeling, opening. And one more breath, feeling the support of the earth, breathing in, expanding the belly. And exhaling. And just staying here for a moment, granting yourself the luxury of this moment with spaciousness and self. And when you're ready, you can come back in and we'll just tune into each other, and looking forward to what's coming. So Jenna and I will talk about astrology in a moment, but I think what I'd like to do is just a couple of quick announcements. For those of you that have the Embody the Year 2024 program, we meet on this Thursday, okay, at 11 a.m. Pacific. For those of you in the Cosmic Circle, we meet Friday at noon. Okay, so there's a lot of celebration going on, a lot of solstice energy, a lot for us to dive into, because now I'm going to call Jenna in. So Jenna, I'm going to spotlight you now. There you are. The full moon and the solstice.
Mm-hmm.
It's been, I think, since 1985 that this has happened in this way. So would you like to share? We say hi. Would you like to share how you are today, and welcome, and just say hi?
Thank you, Denise. Hi, everyone. As you're saying that, I'm like, wow, okay, so the first time in my lifetime,
Oh,
the
wow.
full moon and the solstice are together.
At that
And that feels,
degree, at the
at
early,
that degree,
yeah,
it
one
feels really significant and
yeah,
special.
does.
Even more so than like I've been feeling.
Yeah.
Um, so thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, and I'll double check all that, but that's what I remember seeing that and thinking that makes sense to me. Like there's just this power energy between the Cancerian sun and the Capricornian moon, and they're right at the nexus of the changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Jenna, before we get into all the fun stuff, why don't you tell us about Friday and what you have in mind?
Yeah. Okay, yes. Well, I want to just first preface with I'm not in my usual space for those of you who see me often. So I'm in Lake Tahoe right now. Came up here to do some stuff for my mom in our house. And so if you see Chris running around or you hear the dog playing with a chew toy, I sincerely apologize. So what I have planned for Friday, every full moon is so different because I really take time to tune in and listen to what the ceremony wants to be. And so that's still kind of evolving.
Yeah.
Um, so I'll just preface it with that. But every whether it's a solstice or an equinox, it's a special 90-minute ceremony. So typically they're only 60 minutes. And the reason that I do that partly is because they already have such a limited amount of time in the full moons to just do the full moon stuff.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean the group Reiki, the meditation. And
Yeah.
sometimes that like wants to go longer.
Mhm.
Um, and so I just listen to that. And then we have moon magic. I pull cards for typically I have just enough people that I can still do one card for each person, very similar to Wake Up with Your Inner Goddess. Um, but then I also, for the 90 minutes, do a blessing ceremony for the solstice or for the equinox. And so we'll be going really, really deep as we always do. But I think that the blessing ceremony does bring this kind of extra depth and energy to the circle, and at least that's my intention. And so that's kind of what we'll be doing, is just celebrating the solstice, celebrating this vibrant energy, while also looking at the full moon and what we're being called to release and
Mhm.
expand in. So there's this kind of juxtaposition between the two that we look at during every full moon,
Yeah.
um, but adding on to it the solstice energy as well. So I'm really excited to see how we dance together in the circle. Changes every single month. It's just different every month, which is part of what I love the most about it. So
Oh, I love that. And thank you so much for sharing. So, again, I like to go to your full moon. Um, I feel like there are ceremonies every time, and some are shorter, some are longer, but I think having the um, connection with the Reiki energy makes a big difference. So, in case there's anyone here who hasn't met you prior to now, would you like to
yeah,
say a little bit more about who you are and what you do and where you're located and all the things?
yeah,
Okay.
I'd be honored. So, hello, I'm Jenna. My business is Santa Cruz Mountain Reiki, appropriately named for where I am located. And Kristen from Palo Alto Reiki is my teacher. So
Yay.
there she is. And so that is uh, was such a journey to get there. Reiki has been the newest addition to the things that I provide, and honestly feels like the thread that was able to kind of tie it all together. So I do tarot readings. I'm still learning astrology with Denise, but I do basic chart readings. And all of that is encompassed under the umbrella of Santa Cruz Mountain Reiki. And of course, I do Reiki for people and animals. And it's on, I'm an on, it's, I don't know, it's an honor to do the work. And I really feel like, um, yeah, it's so fulfilling. So
Well, I'm glad you're
I love
here.
to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much. And, Jenna, and I said this in the email that I met Jenna in 2019. And it's been such a wonderful experience to be able to mentor you in the ways I get to mentor you and work with you as a colleague in the ways I get to work with you. And so I'm grateful for your presence here on this planet and in my life. So thank you for being here. And I love all of you that I can see here on the screen. Kristen is also my Reiki teacher as well. So we're really happy to have her here today. Yay. And it's just so good to see everyone. So, side note, before we move into the tarot portion of this time together, there are 2 full moons in Capricorn this year. And
Mhm.
so are you going to do 2 full moon events, or how's that going to work? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I'm doing a full moon event for every full moon this
Okay.
year. So,
All right. Excellent.
yep.
Okay. And so for those of you who are curious, like how, that does happen actually. Either we miss a moon or we get 2 moons. It happens every year because there are 13 cycles, not 12. And so sometimes it just happens that they double up, and we call that a blue moon. So I think that the June 21st to July 21st window feels really key, and there's a lot going on in the stars, as it were. So I know that that's something I'll be talking more about on Friday. But I think what I'd like to say today, I mean, why not, since we're here, the aspect of Pluto's retrograde toward Capricorn feels very important to me. Now, it won't get there by the next full moon, but um it'll be really close. So to have Pluto, and when I say the next full moon, I mean the one at the end of um Capricorn, not the first one, but the second one, to have the Pluto transit back close to that moon feels very, very important to me. So I'm just going to put that out there, that there is a lot of energy and a lot of depth and a lot of possibility. Now, I tend to go toward the possibility for magic. That's just me. I like to look at that aspect of it. It also allows us to see into the darkness. The full moon, ostensibly the full moon is for celebration and harvesting and so many amazing things, but it also allows us to see shadows in the dark, which I think is pretty amazing, because when you start to think about it, like, what am I seeing that I normally can't see? And then that Pluto aspect, I think, is going to make it even more important. So, any thoughts on that, Jenna?
Yeah, I find that seeing in the dark to be really comforting, and healing. Um, and I think a lot of times what we're seeking is clarity.
Yeah.
Um, or I'll only speak for myself, but what I'm seeking is clarity and the direction forward, and feeling like maybe I'm not seeing the full picture, or um, whatever the case may be. And so I feel like that seeing in the dark is able to illuminate
Mm,
those other aspects that might otherwise feel murky
yes.
or unaddressed, honestly, for
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
And the comfort comes in knowing, like, okay, so these are the shadows that I'm currently working through, and it's like comforting to know that it's being presented
Mhm.
for my like highest and best good, and I choose to believe that. And so I find it comforting that there's a purpose, I guess, to
Mhm.
it. And that Capricorn energy of, I can make this a productive means to moving forward.
Absolutely, definitely. And I think too, in the bigger picture. So absolutely 100%. And I just say, travel down those roads and know that you're held. I think that's the other
Mhm.
thing, Capricorn energy, there's a holding that can happen. It's an earth sign. So there's a holding. Pluto, obviously rules Scorpio, and there's that fluidity to that. So you've got
Mhm.
both, which I feel like is really helpful. In the bigger picture, there's an opening again for us to see the things that we haven't been looking at. Maybe we need to take one more last look as Pluto heads back toward Capricorn. What isn't working? What structures, what traditions, which do we want to keep? Which do we want to let go of? There's a lot of transformation available. And yes, that's the next one, not this full moon, but I just thought I'd bring it up because this full moon opens that portal. It opens the window into, I think, a pretty interesting month ahead. So yeah, I think the energies are quite powerful right now. So yeah. Anything else you want to say about that? I have more I can say, but is there anything else you want to say?
I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
Okay. All
I'm,
righty.
I'm literally on the edge of my seat.
Okay. All right. Well, let me just say a couple of things. So it is a little challenging to believe that we're here in midsummer. Just a reminder that Venus enters Cancer, which I think is a plus plus, giving us some extra love, extra empathy, but I guess also it gives us a lot of extra sensitivity too. So just a reminder, and I'll say more about this on Friday, but I would just say a reminder is to this is for me, maybe not for all of you, but don't take things so personally. Um, you know,
Noted.
I don't know. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be fun. Okay, great. So that.
I get it. I get it.
Okay. And
It's
then
my
of course,
life motto.
yeah. So when the sun enters Cancer, Venus enters Cancer, we definitely have that Cancerian energy. Jenna, as someone who has moon and rising in Cancer, do you want to say a little bit about some of the tools that you use to help balance some of that extra sensitivity? We'll just call it extra sensitivity.
Yeah. Um, I think that something that has helped has been to embrace it, and not think that I have to be fixed, or
Yeah.
that the sensitivity has to be
Yeah.
um yeah, like fixed or
Yeah.
changed. Um and when I embrace it, I'm able to kind of, I guess, in embracing it, the tools that come up then become um like a lot of listening, um a lot more awareness of those sensitivities, those feelings. Um, and then also boundary setting becomes even more critical. Um, and I know that when I started working with you, Denise, boundaries felt like a really harsh word.
I remember you
And
did not like it.
I did not like boundaries. And so I used, and I think it was actually in the Sparkles retreat. Maybe it was Jeanette or maybe it was you. I can't remember, but somebody said, I would like to also invite you to use the word parameters.
Yeah.
And that felt really gentle. And so another word that I think um, I've been dancing a lot with as I embrace that sensitivity is being gentle and finding the strength in the gentleness. I don't think that's really a word, but you understand
Gentleness
what I'm
is
saying.
a word.
Gentleness, is that a word?
Yeah, it's a total word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just finding like the strength and the power
Mhm.
that exists in the sensitivity. And there's a level, I guess, of respect for
Yes.
yourself in that sensitivity
Yes.
that also starts to develop.
Yes. Oh, and this is great. You just did the bookends perfectly because when you think about Capricorn and Cancer, Capricorn ruled by Saturn, right? Parameters, structure, boundaries, but also respect, right? So how can you respect your sensitivity? How can you respect your depth, your emotions? I think for me, having North Node in Cancer, conjunct my midheaven. So 10th house midheaven, it's a lot, right? And so one of the things that I came here to learn about is vulnerability and emotional sensitivity. Yeah, I got that. But what I need to learn how to do in this lifetime, and what my path has been in so many ways, is to allow the vulnerability, allow the sensitivity, um, to have respect for that and myself, and honor the path of it, the fluidity of it. Because so many times, and again, so I'm speaking from a Capricorn South Node perspective, but we could easily put it just in, the moons and when we get to the full moon on Friday, just that opposition, right? That um, the need for control is a very Capricornian response to feeling out of control with emotions or vulnerability or sensitivity, right? And so how do we manage? And that's really been a lot of my journey, is how do I manage? I have a lot of sensitivity, and emotional vulnerability is not easy for me as I learn in my North Node journey. I want to control. So letting go. And so then we have that Advent with that other full moon with that Pluto energy of like full letting go. How do I really let go here? So again, Cancer energy is beautiful, it's sensitive, it's creative, by the way, reminder, very creative energy. But I loved how you answered it, because it's just like your life path, you've just been working with this forever, you know? And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah. And I think, oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, so just
Sorry.
remember embracing. Think, instead of the crabs being like big claws to keep everybody out, think of it as embracing yourself.
Hmm.
I mean, it's both, but let's just focus on the embracing oneself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Because I was going to say, I feel like a lot of us have been told, like, oh, you're too sensitive or you're too this.
Yeah.
And I think that, so I have the opposite North Node, South Node as Denise for all of you watching and listening. So learning kind of the same lesson, but from a different
Yeah.
angle. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of, as you were talking, just like the thing that pinged was, how do I feel safe enough and powerful in
Yes.
my vulnerability?
Yes.
Um, that's, I don't have answers, but that's just what comes up.
Oh,
So
no, that's the
that's been the life
inquiry.
path.
Let's everybody take that on. How do I feel safe enough and powerful in my vulnerability? That's an excellent inquiry to be in for this month. So yay, well done. I love it. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think as the month goes on, and as we look at um when I say month, I'm usually thinking lunar or solar month. I don't always think in terms of like the actual month. But there is, at the end of June, Saturn retrograding um, as well. And so there's a lot of reminders that we're in this to look at parameters, structures, boundaries, containers, foundations. What do we need? Um, and I'm having a very deeply illuminating Saturn year. It's been way harder than I thought it would be. But I think that's Saturn. It's like there's a level of excellence that Saturn wants from us. And how is it that we're responding to that? And so when we go into the Cancerian realms, we're going to feel a lot. So let's not be afraid of the feelings, but let's utilize the energy of that emotion to create what we need, and to ask for what we need, because we're going to need stuff, and that's okay. So those are my thoughts. I'll say more on Saturday, or not Saturday. I won't say anything on Saturday. I will say more on Friday. I'll say more on Thursday too. I have a lot to say this week. I hope there's enough but Friday will be good, because for those of you that come on Thursday, that then also come on Friday, I'll do a meditation, another one on Friday as well. And then Jenna will do her thing on Friday night. So you could just like cancel your whole weeks, people. Just cancel everything. Just come to our stuff. We're good. We've got you. We'll create the sacred containers with you. It'll be awesome.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Jenna, should we do some tarot? Do you have a deck? Did you bring
I do.
one?
I have two. So I
Okay.
have my travel tarot deck, and
Okay.
then I have the Dream Gate Oracle here, the new Danielle Noel deck.
Yep.
And then this tarot is traditional images, but they decided to give it's called Rider-Waite Smith. So they decided to actually give the artist the credit. So it has
Oh, right.
the
Yeah, I
artist's
forgot you
like,
have that one.
yeah. So this
Okay,
comes with me
cool.
everywhere.
I did not know that. That's very exciting. All right, I have three decks. So this is always fun. We just have so much fun. So probably what we'll do is maybe, I mean, we'll do what we feel called to do. I mean, we're not going to try to stop the universe, but traditionally, why don't I start and then we'll move and see where we go. And then
Okay, I'm
okay,
excited.
I also have this. Okay, so I'm going to use, here's what I'm going to use, the Light Seers Tarot. So that's how I'll start. Then because in honor of the full moon, the Queen of the Moon Oracle, because how could I not? But then I've got this other deck that's really trippy, the Golden Future. So we'll
Ooh,
just, I mean, it is trippy, but I it was calling. So we're going to use something I don't normally use, and that's always fun. Okay, let
answer
me,
the call.
yeah. Okay, first things first. Oh, and then I'll do the raffle at the end. Okay, so, all right. Oh, our anchor card. I think this works as an anchor card really well. Seven of Wands.
Hmm.
So as
Hmm.
always with our tarot, what do I notice? What do I feel? What stands out today? Ah, if you know the traditional meaning, that's great, but you know what? You don't have to. The beauty of this is you just put yourself in the card and allow yourself to deepen into whatever it is here that's calling to you. What's calling here? What do you notice? I love it actually on screen. I can see sometimes details I can't normally see. It's kind of like if you take a picture with your phone and then you just kind of zoom in. Some interesting detail. There we go. I love that.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. So that's our anchor card for today. No more to be shared on that right now. Just let it be. You're up next.
We have the Four of Swords.
Oh, I can't quite see the stained glass window. What's happening in that stained glass window? Can you
Oops,
that one?
sorry.
Yeah.
Very
Interesting. Okay, got it. Okay.
interesting. I don't think I've ever looked at the stained glass window. I don't know why. I was like, oh, there's the color.
Do you want to hear what's
Yeah,
going on in my mind from that card?
yeah, I
Okay.
do.
So you remember in one of the Indiana Jones, um,
Mm,
the one that search for the Holy Grail? Yes, they do. Both cards have prayer hands. That is absolutely true here. Yep. Very good. Love it. Thank you. Thank you. Well done. Um, the Indiana Jones, what is it? The penitent man, something he keeps mumbling because he has to get to the Grail. And the penitent man, that's what that card reminded me of, like the search for the Holy Grail. And um,
mm,
Four of Swords is an interesting card. I mean,
it is.
we're not trying to be overly mysterious here, but um, we just want to give you time to kind of deepen
Yeah,
it for yourselves. Like
yeah.
what's coming up. Like somebody was noticing our prayer hands, which I didn't notice.
Yes.
That was a
No, I
good,
didn't either.
that was a
Good
great,
observation.
yeah. Mhm. What does that mean? What does that feel like? And by the way, you know what? If you do this, it actually is a really good stretch. But it's really good to do this during the day, right? Especially because we do so much computer work all the time,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah. In
So
Reiki, there's the Gasho meditation.
yeah.
So it's like you feel the energy between your fingertips.
Mhm.
I know Kristen's like, I was going to say the same thing. uh, but this is how I like say my Reiki principles, the five Reiki principles every every day. And I actually like, you know, I have like religious trauma, so like the perfect straight hands are like
Yeah.
feel kind of
Yeah.
like to me, but just having my fingertips and my palms and feeling the energy between my
Yes.
palms is
Yes.
so grounding for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
In
offer
other
that
traditions,
occasionally.
it's not like this, by the way. In other traditions. But like I watched when David's doing Qigong, it's more like that as well, which is similar. I mean,
Yeah,
Tai
very
Chi,
sensitive.
Reiki, yeah, they're all there, which actually this would fit really nicely too with the Cancerian energy that's coming.
Mhm.
So maybe we all have a little more homework here too, like
Yeah,
just feel
because
the
also the Cancerian energy with the healing,
yeah,
is like super prominent. So
yeah.
anyway.
Okay, so we have Seven of Wands, we have Four of Swords. Um, anything else you want to say about either of those cards, Jenna? We've given people plenty of time.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of momentum to go deep.
Yes.
Um, and I think I feel an invitation to take the time, like literally take an action, like place a calendar hold for myself, to take time for myself to go deep and
Yes.
really just like be with what's
Yes.
going on inside.
I love that. I love that. Seven of Wands in the Mother piece is very different. I mean, some of them are similar, but this is particularly different. The Seven of Wands has a lot of energy in it. And I want to just say that Wands is always about energy, creative life force energy. This just happens to be how she's choosing to work with her energy. So as Jenna was saying, like taking time, calendaring some time to be with your energy. And for those of you that do Reiki or any other healing modality, that's probably something you're doing anyway. But how often are you doing it for yourself? Okay. Just a side note. Just a side.
Noted.
Okay. All right. I'll pick a Queen of the Moon oracle. Yes, protect your energy. Thank you. Okay.
Hmm.
Just reading that. Yes, the boundaries. Yeah, and actually, thank you so much for bringing that up because so many times I'm working with so many people right now, and I'm loving it, by the way, around how to deepen into your own practices around intuition and telepathy, connection to your own healing energy. And protection is key. You've got to know how to protect your energy. And especially, I think, highly sensitive people anyway, but as we move into a highly sensitive season, even more so. So just a quick reminder, and we'll use the bubble right here as an example. I was taught very early by one of my first psychic mentors to just see ourselves surrounded with this white opalescent light or clear light or however you want to do it, in a bubble, and then to just see just this white light coming down, filling that bubble, protecting, and then moving out from there. So, again, that was the simplest form. There are a lot of other ways. I know Reiki has a way. I know Qigong has a way. Sensuous Wisdom has a way. Everybody has a way of creating that protection. But for the most part, acknowledging that you have it is key. Before we even begin a Zoom call, I set an energy. And I know Jenna does, I know Kristen does, I know all of us that work in these realms do this. We set an energy and we're like, okay, who's my energetic support today? Who's working the perimeter today? I have some beings that work that perimeter all the time for me. And then to call in what you need and to ask for the highest and best. It's a good way to start the day, even if you're not doing anything. So, but if you are doing any of this deep work, especially as we move into this time, 100%. So thanks, Kristen, for reminding, just to put that word in there, that protection is important. Jenna, you want to say anything else about that?
I just echo like both what Kristen shared, and then also with you shared, Denise. I think um, the only thing I would add is that um, part of what helps us as highly sensitive beings is just acknowledging that we are, and then moving from that space. Because if we're not acknowledging, you might make the decisions to move differently in the world than, if we're just acknowledging we all are highly sensitive in our own ways. Um, and so that's the foundational step, I think.
I think so too. I really appreciate
So
that. And I'm noticing in the chat, we phrase protected silence and rest.
that's very much feels like this card to me.
Yes, I love that. Do you want to hold that card back up again? I do think that's a
Yeah.
great reminder there. And I will say that in the past, I have not yet reclaimed this practice. But in the past, I had something called Silent Fridays, where no technology, no speaking, no anything except me and silence and art. That was, just being able to draw. No writing unless it was journaling, because no computers, no phone, no lights, just candles. Yeah, could take a walk, go out in nature, sure, absolutely. But yeah, Silent Fridays were pretty cool. I did that for probably about 5 years, and they were essential to my well-being, and I deeply miss them. And I hold a space in my heart that there will come a time where I will find that balance again and be able to create that, even just one a month. But I did it weekly for 5 years, and it's profound practice. So it's a good reminder for all of us. So, and I do think, just side note, we go through seasons in our lives. And during that season of my life, I was able to put a lot, this is my Taurus language, I was able to put a lot in the bank account, the energetic bank account, and the spiritual bank account, and then be able to draw upon it now. But I'm feeling the need for a little more investment. So we'll see. Anyway, okay, let me pull a Queen of the Moon oracle. Interesting. Okay, well, I have no idea. Like, these cards are pretty cool. They're so we'll just take what we can. Let's see if I can get it to come. It's the
Wow.
number 13, which I like, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And it's titled
Mm.
Will, which is actually a really Capricornian word, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It's a waxing gibbous 4, which is that's moving toward. Actually, I don't have my phone with me. I have the phone. I have the moon, where we are in the moon. This will probably be Wednesday's moon, I think.
We
Um,
are in a waxing gibbous today.
oh my gosh. See? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. What app is that?
Oh, it's just my phone. It's just the top of my phone.
It does that for us? How do you do that?
So you'll hold down the screen.
Yeah,
You'll hold down the screen.
yeah.
Oh, I guess it's my Face ID. Okay, there you go. And then you can edit
Uh-huh.
the like,
Oh
so you
yeah,
can customize it.
yeah.
And
Oh,
then you can, customize the front.
yeah.
And then it'll give you the option
To have the
um
moon cycle?
to, yeah, so if you click the top, this is on an iPhone, friends. I don't know about other phones, but then you can say, like, you can choose what how you want it to say. So I chose the moon cycle.
Okay, I'm
So I
doing
always have
it. Okay. See, this is so important. It takes a community, people. It takes
it.
a community. Thank you, Jenna. My life has now become, you have no idea. Okay. Anyway, here we are. So for those of you that are actually wondering what we're doing today, yes, we are actually using the tarot to help me reprogram my iPhone. No. But this card, this will, this what, and again, the art is interesting. what do we take from this? And you know what I'm seeing, Jenna, that is not what's in the card, but is a reminder.
Mhm.
I'm seeing Eris's golden apple. I know it's not like, I know if I turn the card around, there's no apple there, but do you see that like golden thing near her face?
Yeah, I
You know,
do.
it's not an apple, but I'm seeing it that way. So it's kind of, so when you see something in a card that's not actually there, side note, when you see something in, I mean, it could be, I mean, it's actually, um, I know it's possible. Take it as a sign that you need to go deeper. So if I'm seeing Eris's golden apple, then I'm having an experience of Eris, who is a goddess that we could talk a lot about, but we're not going to right in this moment. But I need to go down that, I need to go down that journey and find, and I actually could already tell you 14 ways in which Eris and I are having a little conversation right now. So anyway, that's
Would
just
it be 13 ways?
maybe, could be just 13. All right. Anything you want to share about that, Jenna?
I'm just really fascinated by the mask
Yeah.
that she's wearing while also looking like she's about to like consume the light.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Um, that feels really interesting to me.
I know it does, huh? I'm just kind of curious. I'm looking at it. Oh, I turned right to it. Okay, that's a sign. I have to read the affirmation. I don't normally do this. Are you okay if I do it?
100%.
Okay. I have the will to make the changes I need.
Should we stop there? Like
That's it. We're done. Raffle. No. Okay. No, we're going to keep going. But yeah, wow. Right. Okay.
Wait, I need to write that down. So I have this like journal that my aunt gave me for Christmas. And every single week there's a quote of the week spot. And I feel like that's
Yeah,
what I
that's
need
the
to
quote
write
of the
down.
week. I have the will
Hmm.
to make the changes I need. That's actually really good. There's this, while you're writing that down, I have the will to make the changes I need. I'll read this. Contrary to popular belief in witchcraft traditions, practitioners do not interfere with another's free will. We do not cast spells upon people to influence their behavior. How do we get what we want instead?
Good question. Great question.
I'll just read what she says, but you can answer that yourselves. We cast on ourselves in line with our will, focusing carefully on what we would like in our lives instead. Oh, she has a really funny one, but I won't go there. Okay. I'll just stop there.
Right?
That's hilarious.
Right, Kristen? Like,
Why is that
and you
so
know,
simple? Wait, I have to read it. Why is that so simple yet feels so profound, right? Hello? I
there's a
know.
lot to sit with there. I can't help but think about the song, like you can't always get what you want.
Well, yeah, Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's just like
You'll
what's going on in my
always
loop.
get what you need. Okay. Other bit of homework. Everybody has to play the Rolling Stones song. Okay. There you
That's
go.
great homework.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now everyone's rocking out. Okay, good. You don't have to play it right now, but you could if you want to put it on in the background. That's fine. All right.
I love that.
Next profound card.
The Ten of Cups.
Oh,
I love this for us.
I love that for us.
I really do. This feels very nourishing.
Yes, it does. And it's meant to be because, it's 10 of cups.
Hmm.
I love that. Okay. We're going to just sit with that for a moment.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll hold it up again.
I mean, because if you think about it, well, and you know how I change things. How is it that I have the will to make the changes that I need? I change it around a little. How is it that I have the will to make the changes that I need? Um, and how does that lead to that amount of nourishment? I mean, I think that's the question. How is it
Yeah.
that when I have the will to make the changes that I need, I am in an abundance of nourishment of all kinds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Should we go to the as yet to be used deck of cards?
Mhm.
The Golden Future by Diana Cooper. Oh, another song before we go to the Golden Future. Oh, I like that. Celebration. Yes. Good. Playlist. Jenna is the queen of playlists.
I love playlists.
You are so good at it. Okay. Golden Future.
Please tell us our golden future.
Okay. So, you know how we were talking about protection earlier? Okay. And I told you that I have like, I have how many people without, you don't have to say what it is, but how many people know what my main protection feature is? Jenna knows. Okay. Well, in a minute, you're all going to know. The unicorn. So you don't need to share that too far and wide, even though this is on YouTube. Unicorns are my favorite source of protection ever. Now, this one says spread the light of unicorns. Now, I'm telling you, I am super happy with this message. What about you, Jenna? What are you feeling? What are you sensing? What are you noticing?
As a 90s kid, I'm seeing Lisa Frank
Don't know
and
who that
her art.
is. Okay.
It's she creates the most whimsical rainbow art.
I wonder
And
who did that. Okay.
she has a unicorn, and the rainbows and the like this very specific hue of those colors remind me of Lisa Frank
Okay.
and the purple unicorn. Um, and I think part of what that is reminding me of is we were talking about like like vulnerability or maybe innocence of sorts is where I'm kind of going with it. And I'm thinking about my inner child and I'm thinking about that light. And so I'm just thinking about the cards we have and like that depth and that holding and that vulnerability and
Yeah,
that celebration. And so I think that there's something for me that I'm seeing with my inner child
I
as
love
well.
that. Yeah, there's all kinds of
Yes,
rainbows.
there's a
Yeah, there's a
rainbow here
rainbow
too.
there. There's a rainbow in this one a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
And Pegasus. You know, Kristen, remind me to send you my Pegasus poem sometime. I have a whole poem on somewhere. I don't know where it is. That's a whole other matter, but I've got one somewhere. I love this. Okay, so we have multiple cards, multiple messages. Jenna, thank you so much for that journey into your childhood, in a sense, like spreading the light of unicorns kind of comes naturally to you. I love that. This is a UK artist. So, and the
Mm.
name is given as Space Before. There's no personal name. It is a professional name, Space Before. So, all right.
I'm
Anything?
looking up Lisa Frank right now so I
Okay.
can show you an example
Okay. Here, let me.
because you'll know it when you see it,
Heh, okay.
maybe potentially. Um, okay, let's see. Lisa Frank unicorn. That's what I say.
Okay. And wait,
Because
there's the chat is popping off with some fascinating things. Jen has studied with Diana Cooper. Wow. And the name of the deck is The Golden Future by Diana Cooper.
there's Lisa Frank's art.
Oh my gosh, it's so similar. Like it could totally be that card. Wow.
The colors, it's just the hues,
Yeah,
really like
yeah. Wow.
made me think of it.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's so cool. Okay. All right.
Kristen, that's incredible. That's
Okay.
awesome.
Okay. All right. So we started with Seven of Wands, and then we went to,
Four of Swords,
Will, and then
and then Ten of Cups.
unicorns. All right. I'm liking this read. What do you
Me
think?
too.
All
It's
right.
feeling great.
I know. It feels really good. Deep,
Hmm.
powerful, giving us good homework. I'm
Hmm.
loving the homework. Okay. Anything else you
So
want
does
to?
Mercury.
Okay, Mercury. Mercury's Jenna's dog, in case you're wondering. Mercury. We haven't talked about Mercury, the planet, in a while.
I know.
I feel bad now. Now we have to go back and look at Mercury. So actually, hello. I can't believe I forgot this. Mercury is conjunct Venus today. This is like a super special day. Mercury was just trying to remind me, like, hello, I'm conjunct Venus today. Hello, hello. So, it's time to reiterate how people can get a hold of you if they want to join in on Friday, and then I'm going to do the
Hmm.
raffle.
Okay, beautiful. You can get a hold of me on the website, santacruzmountainreiki.com. I know it's kind of a earful there, but that's the title.
I'll put it
Um,
underneath.
yeah, you can also find us on Instagram, Santa Cruz Mountain Reiki. It's a long one. Um, and if you want to join the full moon circle, just santacruzmountainreiki.com, and then you'll go to the events tab and just join there.
Awesome,
So
awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. And I know most people I'm seeing right here in the cosmic circle, but if there's anybody out there that wants to deepen in, you can go to my website and email me because I don't have an event page for that. So, but if you want to be a part of that, just let me know. Okay, it's time for the raffle. So, for those of you that don't know, I am raffling off a session with myself. Actually, not a session with myself, a session with me, because if I was a session with myself, then that would be me having a session with myself. And that is not really what I'm raffling off. What I'm raffling off is a session with me. And in order to have entered the raffle, I asked people to purchase a summit live stream ticket. And I had several people do so. So this is one of those raffles where you have a really good chance of winning. It is not the only raffle. If you want more chances to win, I'm going to have another raffle in July and another one in August. So there's plenty of opportunities, but without further ado, I'm going to spin the wheel. Are you ready? I'm ready. Click to spin. Ah, all righty. This is very exciting. I'm going to end our recording here. So those of you watching on YouTube, you're just going to have to stay in the mystery. And those of you that are gathered here are going to find out the winner in just a moment, but I'm going to end the recording first.